reactions have continued to trail the suit filed by the Department of State Services DSS against former presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress, Professor Pat Utomi, over his alleged plan to establish a shadow government in Nigeria. The move has sparked widespread controversy and legal debate. Trust TV's Aisha Abdulmuminu reports.
Earlier this week, the Federal High Court in Abuja ordered the service of court documents on Professor Pat Utomi in the suit brought against him by the DSS. In separate interviews, civil society members Solomon Adoge and Gimba Suleiman described the shadow government as unconstitutional, arguing that only a shadow cabinet, typically formed by a main opposition party in parliamentary system, is democratically accepted. They insisted that the DSS acted within its power if constitutional boundaries were breached.
If you allow a shadow government to operate, all right, so what it means is that government is saying that there are sections of Nigeria who do not legitimize the constituted authority. Okay? So you are illegitimizing the constitutional authority. And by all means, what that will mean is that the constituted authority will be losing some form of legitimacy, and you don't want that to happen.
Presidential power and every executive power is actually jealously guarded in Nigeria, and the Constitution makes provision that gives such powers exclusively at the hands of the president, and where someone now goes into those powers, it's actually going to be treason and is punishable under Nigerian law. And then what we just have to look at is whether this particular action now is treasonable, and then if it infringes on the powers of the executive president.
Political scientist Ismail Opayemi noted that while individuals have successfully taken the DSS to court in the past, it is within the agency's rights to also initiate legal actions when necessary.
Up to this moment that we are talking, people are still criticizing government. You will agree with me that it's the context of the conversation that we are having that is making the DSS go to that length. We have civil society organization, we have opposition political parties doing their thing. On day by day to day, they criticize the policies of government, and they are allowed to do that. Nobody is threatening them, nobody is harassing them. But when issues become more complex, that it becomes a threat to the coexistent peace of the country, then the DSS, with its mandates, need to actually intervene. And I think that's exactly what they are doing at the moment when it comes to the issue about shadow government that we are talking about.
Also weighing in, constitutional lawyer Sani Abbas argued that Utomi's alleged actions are alien to the constitution and could amount to treason. He stressed that forming a parallel government is not only unlawful, but may be seen as a direct affront to the authority of the president. However, he added that taking the matter to court is the proper legal route for interpretation.
The Constitution, number one, the Constitution has recognized the executive powers to be vested in the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It has also given the judicial powers to the courts and the legislative powers to the houses of assembly. So it is unlawful. It is unlawful for any, there's a thin line between being an opinion builder or being in opposition, and by way of opinions, you try to structure, or you try to, minister to the government of the state that, look, these policies are anti-people's policies.
The Federal High Court has scheduled June 25th as the date for hearing the suit. Aisha Abdulmuminu, Trust TV News, Abuja.